I wanted to extend an invitation to you. This past week was Agape's 39th anniversary, and they invited the Human Garage to do the meditation service at 11 a.m. And during that meditation, he walked us through a process that assisted us to work with our energy. And so I could not be more delighted, right, to have both of these conversations, which are basically just the same conversation of spiritual principles, prayer, and energy happening under the same roof, being shared in different ways. Because in reality, there is truly only one thing happening. That is God expressing as all that there is, right? It's consciousness, it's energy. But I think that sometimes we get confused. We think that we are more matter than we are spirit or that we are energy. When in reality, right, we shed this body incarnation through incarnation, but our essence, what we are, the energy, the consciousness, that stays the same, which is depicted in that picture up above. Right? The top portion of that is the part of us that is unchanging, that is always whole. And then the bottom portion of it is the physical density, the body that we are projecting ourselves into. And so during the month of February, I'm going to be facilitating a 21-day process with Amma Barone, who's a practitioner at Agape, where we're going to bring uh, these teachings of agape and the energy codes together to share the body of work, the teachings, the techniques, the tools, the breath work, and the 21-day process will end with a 2-day in-person retreat in LA, where we're also going to bring in the shamanic element and do a sweat lodge in addition to um, me teaching you as well as Amma teaching you, but I specifically will be teaching you how to clear subconscious interference so that your desires can unfold more easily without what is hidden in the subconscious getting in the way and preventing you from having the follow through to accomplish what you want to accomplish. Often we have every intention of the world to shift something or begin something, and somehow something stops us, right? That something that stops us is stored in the subconscious. So we have conscious, subconscious, um, that we primarily work with. Those things that I'm aware of, I want to make changes. I'm aware of that. I start something and I lose momentum. There's a belief that's stored in the subconscious that might be telling me, who do I think I am to think I can do these things, right? And so here's an example. There was, I guess, a calling on my soul, right? Because I showed up at Agape. Somehow I ended up in practitioner studies without knowing I was going to be praying out loud with people. Because had I known that, I would have never gone all the way through. You would not have caught me dead in that room because there was a panic that would come over my body the second that I felt eyes on me because of trauma that I had experienced earlier in life that required me to, these patterns begin very young, right? Either when I was a kid, if I got in trouble for interjecting my voice into a conversation where it wasn't welcomed because it was an adult conversation, or if I said something that didn't agree with my mom, um, often it resulted right in like a of some sort or worse. So then what got programmed in my subconscious was don't speak up, stay quiet. Don't allow yourself to become noticed because it is unsafe when you do that. So when I landed at Agape at 38 years old, through the divine guidance of spirit itself and my own higher self, because that version of me knew what it wanted to do. It knew that it wanted to become a minister through me, through the physical part of me. It knew that it wanted to become a spiritual counselor. But if you were to have shared that with my conscious mind and everything that was going to need to happen from attending services, attending classes, doing practitioner studies, going through 4 years of ministerial school, transcending, right? Learning all the energy code techniques, doing spiritual best, which works with the subconscious clearing and best, what we store in the physical body. That would be overwhelming to the conscious mind. But our higher self is so graceful that it never brings anything in front of us that we are not ready for. It's like, okay, she's done this much, she's ready for the next step. Roll tape, play the movie, open the scene. So, through a combination of all of the wonderful teachings at Agape, the power of prayer, uh, the implementation of spirit, the importance of understanding and participating in my spiritual practice on a regular basis, which got cultivated over time, and then diving into the teachings of the energy codes of realizing that I am more than just the body. And even starting to crush on the body at a certain point because I just had no idea how beneficial my body was to my soul, right? Where before I used to hate it, disregard it because it didn't look the way I wanted it to look. There are scars up and down my legs from surgeries, from being run over by a car when I was a kid. One leg is longer than the other. I have a limp in my body. I can't tell you how much I appreciate my body now. But all of these things that were being stored in my subconscious used to get in my way. And so now, when I have something rising within me that wants to be created, it no longer gets shut down by the subconscious interference. I'm so available to hear God and take action, which is a beautiful balance of the masculine and the feminine within us, right? The feminine aspect of us, which is the receptor, the receiving cup, the womb, right? In which creativity, life, ideas, expression, birth, and then the masculine part of us that could step into taking action to have it become something tangible and physical here. So we are going to be sharing so much with you during this process so that you too can liberate yourself from all of the things that stand in the way of you being able to express yourself fully, easily, and gracefully in this life. So I wanted to invite you, right, to this 21-day process that will be beginning in February 1st, and then February 21st and 22nd. We will meet in person in LA to implement these practices in person, to share a deeper teaching, to do a detoxification with the sweat lodge. And we can only have 20 people participate in this course. So if you're interested, don't wait. We have 3 payment options that are available to you. And if you need additional structure on payments, it's very likely we will say yes. So I look forward to seeing you soon.